All right, let's talk about one of the biggest secrets of the internet. It's the special language that all your favorite apps use to talk to each other. It's called a RESTful API, and believe me, it's way simpler than it sounds. So, have you ever just stopped and wondered, how does your phone know? You know, how does your favorite game or that video app get all the new stuff to show you, like, right away? Well, the secret is actually pretty simple. All we have to do is think about something we all know and love: ordering food at a really busy restaurant. Okay, so let's break this down. In this giant internet restaurant of ours, there are really only three main parts you need to know about. First up, you've got your app. That's kind of like you, the customer, right? You want some information. And then, way in the back, you have the kitchen. Think of this as a huge, powerful computer called a server, where all the information is stored and, well, cooked up. But here's the thing. How does your app actually talk to the kitchen? I mean, you can't just barge in there and start shouting your order, right? No way. You need a waiter, and you need a menu. And in the digital world, this thing called an API, it's both. It's the menu and the waiter, all rolled into one. It's the super important go-between that makes sure everything just works. Okay, so let's focus on the menu part first. An API acts just like a restaurant menu. It shows you exactly what you're allowed to ask for from the kitchen. No more, no less. And you know what makes a good menu? It's organized. It's just like how a convenience store has a snacks aisle and a drinks aisle. A really well-designed API does the same exact thing. It creates these simple, predictable addresses for every little piece of information, so it's super easy to find. And that means using really simple, clear names. You know, just /users, not some crazy, long, confusing sentence. Keeping those addresses clean and simple is key. Why? So that any app can find exactly what it's looking for without getting totally lost. All right, so you've looked at the menu, you know the address of what you want, now what? How do you actually place the order? Well, it's pretty cool. You use one of just 4 magic action words. And to make this crystal clear, let's switch gears for just a second. Forget the restaurant. Let's imagine we're in a library, and we're interested in one specific book located at the address /books/100. Okay, so if you just want to see the book's information, you know, who wrote it, what it's about, you use the action word get. Simple enough, right? You just want to get the info to read it. But what if you wrote a brand new book and you want to add it to the library's collection? For that, you use post. You're creating something new that wasn't there before. Now, what if you notice a mistake in that book, book number 100? Maybe there's a typo in the title. If you need to change or update the info for that specific book, you use the word put. You're putting new information in its place. And finally, if you want to remove that book from the library entirely, you guessed it, you use delete. Now, did you catch the really important pattern here? The address /books/100, it never changes. The only thing that changes is that action word, get, put, or delete, depending on what you want to do. All right, we're almost there. Just one last piece of the puzzle. To make sure this whole giant internet restaurant runs smoothly for everybody, the kitchen has to follow 2 super important rules, always. Rule number 1 has a kind of fancy name, statelessness. But all that really means is the kitchen has a terrible memory, like 0 memory. It doesn't remember who you are, it doesn't remember what you ordered 5 minutes ago, so every single time you place an order, you have to include all the info. Just like a package needs a full shipping label every single time you mail. And rule number 2 is even simpler. You only talk to your waiter, the API. That's it. You don't know what's happening back in the kitchen. You don't care if there's 1 chef or 100. Nope. You just give your order to the waiter, and the waiter takes care of everything else. This is what we call a layered system. So let's recap. We've got a simple menu, 4 action words, and 2 kitchen rules. That's it. But so what? Why is all this so important? Why does any of this matter? Here's the mind-blowing part. It matters because everybody follows these same rules. Thousands, no, millions of different apps and websites, all built by different people all over the world, they all use this exact same restaurant system to talk to each other. And that is what creates the connected internet we use every single day. And that right there is the big takeaway. These super simple ideas, a clean menu, 4 magic action words, and 2 basic kitchen rules are the foundation that allows the entire internet to work together. Its simplicity is actually its superpower. It allows anyone, anywhere, to build something new that can instantly connect with everything else, and that's why it became the standard for the modern web. So this leaves us with a final thought. Now that you know how the menu works, if you could design the menu for your favorite app, what would you put on it? What kind of information would you want to be able to ask for?